Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A quick summary on the Blackwood reveal from yesterday. If you haven't seen their full stream, link in the description below. There was like a pre-show, the main show, and the post-ESO live show where they already showcased a lot of the Q1 DLC content. So, what do we know? The year-long story, it's kind of like hashtag Gates of Oblivion, and the new chapter is called Blackwood. What do we get this year? Q1, it's called Flames of Ambition. This will be the Q1 DLC that will already be on the public test server this week. So once the PTS is live, we will be adding all the new sets to this page here. I will also put the links in the description. March 8 for PC and March 16 for console. That's fair. That's pretty soon, actually. Like two and a half months. 2 DLC dungeons, like always. We will get the champion points rework with the Q1 DLC. We will get advanced stats character sheet and penalties and bonuses for your armor types. I will do separate videos on these kind of things this week, so you will understand how it looks like. The champion points rework will have probably the biggest impact for builds in general. Now, just to make one thing clear, Zenimax said the cap is like 3,600 now, and a lot of people panicked around. They're like, oh my god, I have to grind so much points. In theory, okay, yes, you can get 3,600, but there is... let me try to showcase this real quick. I spam a lot of things on Twitter. I will also leave the link in the description. You can now only slot 12 perks. So there's 3. This one here is like the crafter tree, and the warfare, and the fitness tree or whatever. And you can only slot 4 perks. And if each of these perks can have a maximum of 100 points, then it's 12 times 100. So that would leave the cap at like 1,200. There's also some perks apparently that don't have to be slotted up here, so let's assume like 1,600, right? So yes, you can get 3,600, but it doesn't really matter. The only thing you will have to do less is respec if you have more points, because you can just take the perk and put it in and replace it with something else. So don't worry too much about that. I will do an in-depth video on these things once we know more, but no, you don't have to get 3,600 points to be able to play endgame or something like that. There will be some sort of soft cap, and because perks are limited, you just can't get, like, you need to slot the perks. It's not like the previous system. So don't panic, wait till I have made the in-depth video, and then you can decide whether you want to panic or not. Anyway, Q2 Blackwood. It will release on June 1st for PC and on June 8th for Xbox and PlayStation. Another note, I would recommend getting the next-gen consoles as soon as possible. You can already play ESO on there. The game hasn't upgraded yet to next-gen, but they're working on it. But you can already play it. You will get way more FPS because the new consoles are like 10 times stronger. Q3 will be another dungeon DLC, and then Q4 will be the last story DLC. Basically business as usual. So what are we going to get with the Blackwood chapter? Because that's like the big boy thing. First off, a new zone called Blackwood, then the main storyline for a year, the new companion system. So I actually think they undersold this during the live stream. We'll watch a clip in a second. But I think the companion system is the big new thing, because we are not getting a new class, we are not getting any new skill lines. So they could have done a better job on actually showcasing how big of an impact that system will have. Before we watch the clip, let's check out other stuff. New 12-player trial called Rock Grove. Then new world events, Oblivion portals, so these are kind of like dolmens most likely. New delves, public dungeons, world bosses, and so on. Quality of life improvements and new servers. The ZeniMax actually said they're going to scrap the old servers and replace them with new servers. No, the lag won't just magically go away. It's mostly stability upgrades. So when there is maybe a lot of new players coming to the servers, they won't completely shit the bed like they do right now, right? So that might help, but problems with latency and high ping in PvP or in endgame trials will most likely still be there. So like, don't get too overly excited about that stuff. Now let's take a look at the clip about the companion system, see what they have to say.
Rich, I wonder if you want to let them all in on what you've been working on.
I'm very excited to announce that we'll be introducing companions later this year. And companions are adventuring buddies. They're unlocked via Blackwood through quests, and they provide utility and support for players as you explore the world of Tamriel. Once unlocked, you can level them up, you can have dialogues with them, you can equip them with gear, set their combat behaviors and abilities, and they'll be your permanent companion from here on out if you choose.
So I hope it was loud enough. Otherwise you can watch it in the stream. Anyway, what he said is, like, you will get these companions through quests. So you have to do quests to get X companion. I think there are 2 or some. You will be able to level them up. You can choose them to heal you, maybe help you deal damage, or even be a tank, some sort of. And you can equip skills, which is also interesting. So that's why that's a lot of things you can do with the companion, and that's also why I think they kind of undersold it, because they haven't showed us like how it exactly works.
That sounds awesome. Now what should I expect from a companion, especially a guy like me who plays Elder Scrolls Online solo?
You're always going to have somebody there for you. If you need a little bit of extra healing or a little bit of extra damage or tanking.
So yeah, this is one of like a healer companion. It's pretty much the same system like Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I actually do like it. So I played Star Wars: The Old Republic a little bit, mostly solo, and the companion was actually the best thing that happened for me as a solo player. I didn't have to worry about healing myself, and I know a lot of new players have issues. They forget to reapply buffs, they forget to heal themselves, and then they die. And these companions will actually solve these problems. So it's a good thing. The main issue this game still has is that most people never make it to like veteran content. They quit before because it gets like too difficult, or they just don't get used to it. And these companions might actually help. Yes, some players might choose to play alone with the companions, but like, people that want to play alone will keep playing alone. It won't take away people from group content like some people think.
You have somebody there in your pocket, so to speak, and you can use them pretty much everywhere, except for maybe PvP, but we'll go into a lot more of those and have a deep dive as we get closer to chapter launch.
So he said, like, you can't use them in PvP, but Overland, probably dungeons, and even trials. Now, I guess they kinda will function like a group member, so you can't have 4 players and 4 companions. It's either 4 players or maybe 3 players plus a companion. Something like that, because that's how it works in the Old Republic, more or less. Which is good, which is cool. And they also said they will have plenty of them. Maybe they will have very unique companions, and then some fairly template-like ones, which are copy-pasta but have different looks in the Crown Store. I'm sure they're gonna monetize this feature. I think that was it about this segment.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah, so that's it about the companion. I wish they had shown us a little bit more, especially like how skills, how you can set stuff, and so on. But it's definitely going to be interesting, and they said they will show more things over time. There is a lot of different versions. I recommend going to their main website here, so you kinda know what you should get. If you pre-order, you can get like some things already. The big boy, Naga hide, Velva looks pretty epic and is huge. You also can get the Dremora Kinreef outfit, which looks pretty cool, and a lot of other stuff. Just check out the official page. I will also put the link in the description below. So yeah, the closer we get to the chapter, the more they will reveal. Now, there is also some extra cool merch, which is fairly expensive. Like, they don't do a physical collector's edition, but you can get this separate, and a new shirt, which is nice. They also released the update 29 combat preview, because the public test server will come today, so this week. So you can already check out champion system change, the armor updates, and the advanced stats. I was actually thinking that they might bring it. I thought the champion point system rework would come with the chapter, but it's actually already with the DLC Q1. Now that's pretty much it about the main summary about what happened. I do recommend checking out their stream. Pre-show was kind of cool. They showcased some of the streamers and featured some of the guilds in the game. I like this way more than the previous pre-shows they have done. The main show and ESO Live, where they showcased the champion point system. There's a lot of perks now. I think almost 100 or something like that. It looks way more detailed. I just hope the UI is good, so people actually understand what's going on. We will see. They also showcased the advanced stats, so you get an extra window here, where you see, okay, disease resistance, poison resistance, and so on. This is very nice. And it's only, you gotta toggle it here, advanced stats. For people that don't care, don't need these stats, right? It's only for people that really want to do in-depth theory crafting. And the armor stuff, like medium armor bonus, reduces the cost of sprint, sneak, block. Let me see if I can... Light armor penalties. So increases damage taken from martial attacks by 1%. Increases the cost of block by 3%. Decreases damage done with bash by 1%. Each piece of light armor, so it's per piece of light armor. So 7 times 3 if you have 7 light armor pieces. So it can really ramp up. Oh, another cool thing, they're done with the Indrix, and I LMAO'd on this. This time around, you will get this rock pet, which you then can change into a skin, and you can even change it into a house, something like that. They said. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they will come out like. I was like, what? Because I wasn't really interested in Indrix, but I usually like the skins. This one actually looks decent, and if you can transform or get a free house as well, I'm definitely gonna participate more in the event. Good move. Like always, on eso-hub, you will know up here when Twitch drops are active or when there's an ongoing event. It will also be notified here. We're also working on making this visually better, so you already know when the next one is coming, not just the day when it launches. Mid-year Mayhem actually starts on the 28th January, so that one will come soon. I think they're gonna release an article about it today. So yeah, just check out eso-hub. There's a lot of things here. We keep adding new content. Like Wöller and I are building this website out. It's gonna be big. In combination with alcasthq. So let's take a look about what Brian Wheeler, PvP Combat Lead, has to say about the changes and why they made it. This might be a little bit long. So for people that just want to wait for the in-depth video, maybe come back later. The champion point system. Back when we first, let me zoom in a little bit and maybe move my camera. There we go. Back when we first designed the champion system, the original purpose was to provide players with character advancement beyond level 50. We hit that goal, and that's the system gave your character more power in incremental stages as you continue to play. Yeah, biggest power creep in the game. Red champion point are actually the worst, then followed by blue, as well as other things like sets, also crazy, and buffs, debuffs. System offered the means to augment your power in very specific roles and fill gaps in your build to help you tackle PvE content, battle against other players, and aid with crafting. Lastly, the system was originally built to utilize the technology we had at the time, which relied heavily on passive abilities. Determine if your character should sprint faster, block more if damage shields were more powerful. The thing is, the current champion system is very taxing on the server. That's why I think they made these perks. So the system only has to track 12 perks instead of like 50. I'm not sure about that. Once your character reaches level 50, each time you gain a level, you earn a champion point. You then spend, okay, that's just like how it works right now. As the game progressed from update to update, the champion point cap also increased bit by bit. This allowed you to spend more CP in various stars, which in turn made your character more powerful. The term power is something that can be very broad in definition. Yeah. This creates several issues ranging from social pressures of requiring a minimum CP to play with others to creating content which essentially ignores champion bonuses like higher health to create difficult encounters. Yeah. I mean, that's not going away. People will feel even more pressure because new players don't know that you most likely won't need 3,600 points to be useful. So I feel like they should have done a better job at explaining this, or like just change the, instead of 3,600, make it 360, so the number is not that high. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. As mentioned earlier, the current system relies on passive abilities, and this was largely due to the technology. Yeah. So yeah, that's here. The game must always constantly check passive abilities for the right thing at the right time. For example, a champion ability such as Bastion requires the game to check if a damage shield was cast on every action your character does. Oh my god. These poor hamsters, server hamsters. Multiply that by the 30 to 40 passives you have on your character, and the result is a system that puts unnecessary stress on the servers. No one, like, of course, hamsters are dying left and right, dude. They can't work that hard. Given this context and the problems we are looking to solve, there are several aspects we need to improve. First, we want a system that encourages horizontal progression, rewards that prioritize gameplay variety over character power by introducing new and unique tools for you to incorporate into builds. Over vertical progression, rewards that increase character power by improving existing character tools or replacing them with objectively better options to provide a better experience. We also want a system that reduces calculations per combat action to help overall performance. I guess that was their main point. Like, the biggest thing for them was to reduce stress on the servers, and anything else is secondary. And finally, we want a system that can expand and evolve with ESO for years to come and provide a wide variety of options for your characters. Yeah. It was actually funny during the stream. Wheeler said something like, yeah, we want to support this year's, like, we want to support this system for years to come. It sounded like he wants to be working like at source on ESO for the next 20 years. So this game is not going anywhere soon, anytime soon. This is good. Now, power creep is not even a concern this time, because even if they add more systems to the champion point system, you can still only slot 12 perks, most likely. So that also kind of limits the power creep, which is smart. With all those aspects and more in mind, we are introducing a revamped CP system with update 29. So much text. Oh my god, they like. A new CP system utilizes several types of stars, the locations within the champion system UI that you spend your points in. Yeah. A simple example is a star that has 50 total points that grants stamina for every 10 points invested. That's another thing they said. They removed jump points, so you don't have to worry about jump points anymore. However, there's still kind of jump points because of this here. Like, you need 10 points to get stamina, right? If you put 9, you don't get. But this time you see it. It's actually visually visible. So that's an advantage. It's kind of a weird decision though. Like they removed the jump points, but now they put them back in. But anyway, whatever. It should be visually clear now. The main issue before was it was hidden, so people didn't know about it. Some stars also require you to slot them into a new UI element called the champion bar. It has 12 slots, 4 per constellation. It allows you to drag and drop Alcast slotting. Nice. Functionality is very similar to an ability bar. Stars which can be slotted into the champion bar are bonuses that can offer power or augment the playstyle. The capability to control which stars you slot at any given time is the main aspect that governs vertical progression. Other stars which grant stats by unlocking their thresholds don't need to be slotted, will further increase your power. Okay. So there's perks that you gotta slot and some you don't. So I guess we can say around 1,200 to maybe 1,600 champion points and you will be maxed out. Once I do the in-depth video on it, we will see anyway. The blend of these two types of stars allows to update the champion system to offer both power and choice while also promoting greater consideration. So yeah, that's the thing. Because only 12 can be slotted, the stress on the servers is reduced. Additionally, most stars that grant stats without conditions function similar to item set bonuses. These stats are simply added to your character and do not require an ability to drive their function. By doing this, we are able to put less strain on the server by having these passives function different than the current champion bonuses that are driven by the ability and requirements. Okay, interesting. It looks like some perks in the CP tree at the moment like need to be checked by each ability and so on, which is kind of crazy. And no surprise, the server just shits the bed completely. Interesting. So that's actually a smart move. The last major aspect of the champion system that we wanted to adjust was room for growth and variety. As ESO continues to expand year after year with new content and systems, we want the champion system to evolve with it. The new slotted passives and champion bar will greatly support it. Nice. So yeah, they want to add more of these. Cool. Another method of expanding on the system is our clustering UI. Most of the champion constellations have a top layer of stars, but with the launch of the updated system, there is one constellation that has a few clusters. These clusters are essentially sub-constellations. Yeah. I'm not sure if they went a little bit too far on this, because it starts to get very complicated. That's basically here.
You also have a slottable max stamina one.
Yeah, so here, these here are permanent, I guess. Increases your max stamina by 26 per stage.
Because this one can...
You don't need to slot this one.
To do it as well. So...
And now you see there is kind of like this amplifying glass. What are they called in English? I'm not sure. Now you can click on it.
When we look at...
And you see here, starving death. Quick, it has 5 different things in here.
The system, you kind of touched on it earlier. We want this to be able to grow moving forward. And if you think about the original champion system,
Gina really looks like a true gamer.
It's kind of like locked in on that one layer.
Gina has
right?
LED stuff in the back there. Jesus.
Add more stars to this system.
Oh, and by the way, they also have like Elder Scrolls Online special chairs, like from Noble Chairs, which is pretty cool. I tweet. Let me quickly check. Sorry for the interruption. Let me check if I can find it. I spam so much stuff on Twitter. It's crazy. But anyway, I think I retweeted that here. Yeah, this one. They made a specific Elder Scrolls Online version, which it looks really high quality. Noble chairs are usually very good. I've already used one of the, not this one, but yeah, I might get one of these. I don't think they're available yet, but I guess just go to the Noble Chairs website and you will find them. No, anyway.
So we've added sort of a layering method where
You have seen, we went from the main one, which already has a ton of these, like so many stars, and the ones that glow purplish can get even
neat, right?
deeper
We
insight.
wanted to make sure that we could add more stars to this system. So we've added sort of a layering method where within a constellation, you have a secondary constellation. And we have 3 types of constellations. Sorry.
That's a lot of perks. However, like you've seen, all these that you need to slot, you can only have 4. So you're gonna be very limited. You really gotta pick the right ones for your build. It's gonna be insane. And interesting to see what people come up with. The second layer gives us another canvas on which to add more stars or simply group stars together to the common purpose. Yeah. So maybe there will be a crit star, which focuses on extra crit damage, more critical, and all that kind of stuff. With the methods of spending CP, the new champion bar, and the clustering layers, we hope this shows how the updated champion system builds up on the current system. There will be a best in slot, like I can already tell you that. Of course there will be. But I do think the new system will be great. It will have a lot more options, and it's not only very damage focused. Or like damage, like resistances or mitigation, whatever. There will also be new things for crafters. And so on. So I will do a video on that later. Armor updates. So light armor. That's a lot of roleplay text. I'm not going to read through this, but anyway, let's see what they do have here. Light armor. Reduce damage taken from magical attacks by 1% per piece. So you could get 7% damage mitigation from magical attacks. This includes flame, frost, shock, and magic. Okay. It increases damage taken from physical attacks by 1%. Interesting. Heavy armor increases damage taken from magical attacks. I guess because like heavy armor, you wear metal. If somebody zaps your ass with a shock ability, you get electrified. Guess that might be how they thought that through. I don't know. But decreased damage from physical attacks. These bonuses are per piece worn and the functionality is meant to provide interesting trade-off. I put a few here. Oh, that was one too far. Like if you want to check them out, I screenshot some of them during the stream. Nice. I will do a separate video on that anyway. And advanced stats, which is with the stats sheet. There's a lot of comments. Anyway, I'm not gonna read through this stuff. Gonna be I will do a video on the patch notes that will launch soon, etc., etc. No new class. I'm actually glad they're not coming out with another new class because I'd rather do them I'd rather let them do the CP system rework and then focus on the existing classes. And once they are they have a better class identity, get in new things. The main issue, I think, is that they undersold the companion system. People are like, well, that chapter seems kind of slim. Anyway, I don't call this ESO Salt Lens for a reason. It's usually just complaining and tears. Make sure to check out eso-hub, alcasthq. Can also use the Dwemer automaton for your Discord, Telegram, or Twitch, which is linked to eso-hub, and all my other social links in the description below. Let me know what you think about this chapter. We will check out the public test server once it's up. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Adios.